Guys, it's Patrick the Beard channel again. Just want to stop for a brief moment. I just finished up a studio session doing a lot of music review and stuff like that. Where I'm working on building a new project myself. I was working with another producer as well. He works on keys and stuff like that. And I was thinking to myself before I got ready to check in for the night that there's two topics I wanted to cover. One topic was, your neckline, trimming. I was talking to one of our brothers on the channel as well. You'll see his comments below and stuff like that. Real good, solid brother. But anyway, my point is just this: a couple things. I've talked in earlier videos about tying your beard up, and I maintain like a wave, kind of a hairstyle. I have waves in my hair and stuff like that, but um, it's safe to say that we shouldn't assume that certain things are understood when we're, talking about different things. I want to make sure that I'm being clear on everything and, not skipping things just because I'm used to them because, that's not how we make sure that, we understand the holistic approach for how we're doing things, or how I do things because I'm sharing my experience with you guys, so I want to make sure breaking down and just not skipping over stuff. But anyway, my main focus, other than the neck part, we'll get to that in a minute. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was the sheer, just pretty much this basic fact. If you tie your hair down and you tie your beard down, which I do highly recommend because when you go to sleep, what'll happen is these oils and stuff, they're not cheap. My rosemary oil 100% bottle costs like $10 just for a little bottle. I mean, granted, I only use about 2 drops of it per one of these because it's really strong. You put one drop in and your eyes will start to water. You know what I mean? But I put about 5 different oils in my bottle, and each one's at least about $10 per bottle. So you guys do the math. We're talking about $50. Ration down into a smaller quantity in a smaller bottle. So my point or my reason for saying that is just the fact that I really feel like, if you're going to put oils into your hair, then it makes sense to try to retain the oil because not only is the oil costly, you know, even if you might not be Ty Lopez making a whole bunch of, money every time in between each one of my videos, you're telling me to take a tour of your house and stuff like that, you know. And honestly, I feel like, all of you guys will be at that point, why not? But anyway, my point is just that if you're spending that kind of money on oil, you're putting it in your beard, then you should be tying it up so that the oil will stay in your beard and not end up all on the side of your pillow. I'm not saying it's going to be greasy, but even if your hair is not greasy and you put oil in there and it's not greasy, it's not shiny, it's not oily, there's still some oil in there. Like, retain what you put in there. Tie your beard down. I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. But anyway, first thing I recommend is you never tie down a dry beard. What's the purpose of tying it down if there's no oil in there? You want to tie it down with oil from moisture that you sealed in there. Took a shower, put oil on there. Wring the water out of your beard or your hair or whatever you have. I'm about to tie my the way my routine works, my night routine. And I didn't show you guys a routine if I got showered. Normally I do that whole thing, but you can go back to the last video and see that video was about the detangling, if I'm not mistaken. So I put my oil in my hair. I kind of brush my hair in the pattern that the waves follow. And so, directly after I I apply oil over the water, the moisture in my hair. I then follow, and you can buy these anywhere, do-rags. You can get them online or get them at a beauty supply store, which beauty supply stores are scattered everywhere. After that, I line the line right down the middle. Bring the strings around the front, around the back around the front. And I'm tying in the back right now. After I tie that down, and I pull the little hang part back down. And then lastly but not leastly, you didn't see I already put the oil in here before the video, so I got oil in my beard. I use a soft brush. I'll brush it down. Then I already applied some towards the neck part of my beard. So I brush that from the back part of my neck forward and go back down. So all of that oil is in there. Put a little bit on the mustache, you know, so I can grow out that epic mustache. And you know, before I tie this up, I'm gonna go ahead and show our friend on the channel where I was talking about as far as where I train how I would recommend that you cut your beard around your neck. But so normally you have your I don't know if you guys can see that, but normally you have your Adam's apple, you know, right at your Adam's apple, you know, all the way to the side. Adam's apple to the side. You know what I mean? It's kind of, there we go. So from about the Adam's apple to swinging all the way down. So from the ear, draw straight, kind of, not straight, but, you know, a line going down. And then from the ear, kind of swing around in a roundabout kind of way down past Adam's apple and back to the straight line. And then back to the ear. But what I would really recommend that you guys do as far as if you're trimming your neckline, number one, I don't recommend that you trim your neckline. If you're growing out an epic beard, you know what I mean? What I recommend you doing is allowing your beard to grow, you know, as full, as untouched, meaning, you know, this tie in the back of my hair, do-rag came loose, I'm tying that back up. But what I would recommend you doing is think about your beard like you think about like a lawn, like a yard. What you want to do is you want to see how far out that it'll grow. And then what you want to do is at a particular point, you know, the hairs will stop like growing beyond a certain point. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like this brush. Like you see the bristles in the brush, they go right here, right? Now, imagine you've only been growing a beard for like 3, 4, 5 months, you know, something like that. Chances are that where you see these bristles going from here to here in this oval-like fashion, chances are at 4 or 5 months, the edges of your beard could possibly be only to here. So if the edges of the beard are only to here at 4 or 5 months, particularly imagine that from 4 to 5 months, the line or the edges of your beard is here. But imagine that if 8 months, if you didn't line your beard and edge it with clippers and different things like that, imagine if your beard would fill out its edge from here, this line I'm drawing, to about here, right? And then you see this little edge right here where this tan in the brush is, the wood. Imagine if after a year, your edges were right here. And then what ends up happening is at a certain point, the hair just won't protrude and grow out beyond a certain distance. But the reason why I say don't edge your beard, you know, is because when you've never grown it very, very long, you don't know that the beard edge will expand from this point to this point. So you start edging it right here because you see like 3 hairs poking out here or 2 hairs poking out right here. And so what I'm saying is don't trim it trying to bring this back, because what ends up happening is after you continually get close to this year mark of beard growth where your edge would eventually protrude to this point and be full and taper off and stop pretty much growing little pieces of hair all out here and all this kind of stuff, it'll get to a certain point where it won't grow anymore. Just like your hairline, you know, you can't see anymore because I had a do-rag on, but your hairline, once your hairline gets full to this point, it doesn't start poking hairs out on your forehead, you know what I mean? At a particular point, it stops, you know? But you can't find the stopping point if when you're only at this point, you keep edging it right here. You'll never see this right here, this distance. You'll never see this fullness. And that'll show for a bigger, greater, larger, more full, nice looking beard. But you gotta let it fill in beyond this point naturally without cutting it. And I'm being afraid that I gotta line it here, I gotta edge it here. All these 3, 4 hairs that are edging out right here don't look good. Well, the rest will fill in too if you let it grow. But You know, that's my example for that. And I've seen that happen in a lot of other different situations. I've seen that with growing, you know, hair. You know, on my head, I grew really, really long dreadlocks. And one thing you notice with people that grow dreadlocks is a lot of times they're always getting edge ups and lines. So what happens is they don't have a dreadlock right here above their ear because they were constantly getting lines. So before you know it, they got no hair here, a fade, and then the dreadlocks start all the way back here because they were edging it. You know, so the more natural that you can allow things to be, the greater your your journey will be. You know, it'll look fuller, it'll look greater. And what happens is if you keep trimming that edge back, you're gonna be constantly chasing and getting it to come back in, because the more your beard starts to grow and get full at other places, it'll eventually want to continue to it'll be stubborn. Like it'll want to grow. There's supposed to be hair there beyond that line that you trained into your hair. So next, the beard do-rag. Right above the mustache, boom. Right under the ears, coming all the way back, crisscrossing the strings, go above the ear, tie that, go behind the ear, and we're about to tie right here. And so what this does is while you're asleep, you know, and I'm single, so I don't have a woman at home that might, you know, talk mess about what I'm doing and stuff like that. Because this is what I'll do. This is what I'm going to do. But what happens is at night while you're rubbing up on the side, and you could go above the nose and go across. I don't trip too much about this right here. I should hold it down, but I'm not tonight. You know, you can go above your ear if you want, and right over across the nose and stuff. And these things breathe, so it's no big deal. But I just wanted to share that information with you guys today. Y'all have a good one. It's Patrick Daniels again with the Beard Channel. Peace.